What is up, guys? It's Tom here and it's time for a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And who do you want Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp to sign in the summer transfer window? Let me know in the comments below. And depending on what kind of signings do we make, where do you think Liverpool can finish next season in the Premier League? I love to hear your predictions. I will also do a Premier League predictions video later this summer. But of course, first I will do a Liverpool season review probably on the weekend. So let me know who was your player of the season. And I want to quickly run through the players that Liverpool are linked with, and I will talk in detail about them even more. We are linked heavily with Naby Keita, Iker Casillas, Benjamin Mendy, Kylian Mbappe, Demarai Gray, Paredes, Timo Werner, Ryan Sessegnon, Michael Keane, Mohamed Salah, Douglas Costa, Virgil van Dijk, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Andrew Robertson, Marco Asensio, Kaidu Koulibaly, Christian Pulisic, and even James Rodriguez and Julian Brandt. But those links, you know, are from the Spring. So the first big news is the bookmakers suspend betting on Iker Casillas moving to Liverpool. I'm a little bit skeptical about this. Spanish newspaper AS has claimed on Tuesday that a pre-contract agreement was in place for the 36-year-old. He's on big wages at Porto. He's on like 125k weekly wages. And I doubted that Liverpool would spend that much money on a third choice goalkeeper who will hardly play. I think Mignolet will be our first choice. Karius will be our second choice, and there is even talks of Jurgen Klopp bringing back Danny Ward from Huddersfield, even though I think Danny Ward should stay at Huddersfield. He's having a great season and Huddersfield could get promoted to the Premier League next season. And I think for him to play almost every game in the Premier League for a newly promoted side would be a great experience. At Liverpool, Danny Ward wouldn't get much playing time. Same with Iker Casillas. Would he really move here on a very limited playing time? We don't know that yet. And also, you know, he would be, of course, a brilliant player to have in and around the squad. In terms of experience, Casillas won incredible amounts of trophies. He won the Champions League multiple times, Spanish La Liga, Spanish Cups, and the Spanish league titles. I already mentioned that. He won the World Cup, he won the Euros, he won everything basically there is to win in cup football and in international football as well. But, you know, Jurgen Klopp himself said that we are happy with the goalkeeping situation and he's not looking at bringing in a goalkeeper. So I don't think this transfer will happen, honestly. And his performances at Porto, actually, he did pretty well, but he also made some mistakes. I remember watching some Porto highlights where he made some howlers, and he's not at the peak of his career. And in all honesty, I would be over the moon if we signed him, of course, because he's a world-class name. Not a world-class player anymore, in my opinion, but he's still a very good goalkeeper. And if something serious happens to either Mignolet or Karius, we could be calling up Casillas. But, you know, it would only make sense if the Danny Ward was also sent back on loan again. I think with the Champions League football next season at Anfield, Liverpool will definitely need 3 good goalkeepers, because if Mignolet or Karius gets a long-term injury, then we will be stuck with just 2 good goalkeepers. I think this is Jurgen Klopp's strategy. And yeah, I think we shouldn't spend that much money, that much wages player who will be only third choice as a goalkeeper. But let me know, guys, what do you think? These videos are more of a discussion videos. And I also wanted to bring you some very interesting quotes about you know, what Jurgen Klopp said about the summer transfers. So Jurgen Klopp said, and I quote, after the Sydney game, and I quote, "I wish tomorrow that the signings would be completed, but unfortunately that's not really likely. The best scenario is that you have them for the start of pre-season, which is, by the way, July the 18th. That's our first pre-season game in the Asia Trophy in Hong Kong. But I'm not sure if it will happen this time. It's different with all the players. so we will see. It's not a big problem because we all know if they are fit and healthy, we have a really strong squad, and that means that we could start the season with this strong squad. But that doesn't mean that I would prefer this. I would love to have the signings in as soon as possible, which is music to my ears. And I remember that last season we signed, quite a lot of players before the first actually pre-season game. Actually, for the start of pre-season training, it was July 20th last year, and we already signed Mane, Matip, Wijnaldum, Klavan, Karius and Manninger. We're already done and dusted. And basically, why Jurgen Klopp loves to do this is so he can train with the whole squad, including the new players, and he can get them up to speed with the tactics and the team formation and everything, and blend them into the squad so they don't really feel out of place when the season proper starts story. And it's vital that Liverpool hit the ground running. It was huge that Liverpool, had a good start in the Premier League, because without that good start we wouldn't be able to actually finish in the Champions League places. For example, the first game where we won 4-3 at Arsenal, if we don't win that game, in theory we wouldn't be in the Champions League. Another very interesting transfer news is that Celtic wants to take Harry Wilson on loan or get him permanently, but Liverpool rejected the approach because Harry Wilson will get playing time next season. I think actually he would do well with the loan at Celtic, but Jurgen Klopp thinks otherwise. And if Harry Wilson will play in the League Cup and sometimes in the FA Cup, we shall wait and see. A very interesting transfer news update on Andrew Robertson. Remember that we are heavily linked with him, and Sporting Club de Portugal will rival Liverpool in trying to sign the left back. According to reports in Portugal, he's 23 years old. Hull is demanding 10 million for the player, but Hull has just gone down. Also, Marco Silva, the Hull manager, just announced that he will leave Hull. And the Hull manager, Marco Silva, just announced that he will leave Hull, and he's in talks with Porto in becoming their new manager. So it will be interesting whether, Sporting Club de Portugal can sign Andrew Robertson. I will be honest, I would prefer if we got Ryan Sessegnon and maybe kept James Milner, and those will be our first choice, and second choice left back options. Of course, I would be happy with Ricardo Rodriguez of Wolfsburg, or Kolasinac of Schalke, so we shall wait and see. Another very interesting transfer news, and this is coming from Club Call. They are saying that Liverpool are in the hunt for Dinamo Zagreb midfielder Ante Čorić, or Čorić, not sure how to pronounce his name. I'm not Croatian, so I apologize if I mispronounce his name. He is 20 years old. He has been impressive after establishing himself in the Dinamo Zagreb side this season. But Dinamo Zagreb actually didn't win the title for the first time in like 9 or 10 years, and Rijeka, another Croatian club, won the title for the first time in like 20 or 25 years or something like that. And Čorić has been linked with Tottenham, Roma, Sampdoria, and also Liverpool. He's, a centre midfielder, if I'm not mistaken. He said, and I quote, "I'm happy such big clubs want me, but I want to play with my favorite team in the Champions League. If it was up to me to decide, all I needed to do was a medical, but I wanted to stay at Dinamo, where I can give a lot more." I respect that, to be honest. A player who is loyal to his hometown club and who wants to further his career playing there, and maybe then he knows that even in 2 or 3 years, if he keeps developing, big clubs will be there who will want him. So that will be interesting. Jurgen Klopp also brought in a new physio from Mainz, his former club. The physio is called Christopher Rohrbeck, and he will join Liverpool's backroom staff for next season. The 38-year-old will join Liverpool in the summer after 14 years of serving Mainz. The Mainz sporting director Schroeder said that this guy Christopher has worked for us in a reliable fashion on a high level for many years, and was now presented with a chance to switch clubs. Even though for us this means losing one of our long-time employees, we wanted to grant Christopher and his family their wish to take on a fresh challenge in Liverpool. So even though that will be very interesting, how, you know, Jurgen Klopp hopefully is strengthening the physio room, so we will avoid the injuries that has been happening at Liverpool. And next season, if we can, you know, get fewer injuries, it would be massive, because this season I think we would have finished comfortably in 3rd place if Mane stayed fit for longer, if Coutinho stayed fit for longer, if Daniel Sturridge, he is the main one, if Daniel Sturridge can stay fit for longer. That alone is worth like a £30 million new striker. Honestly, he's that good. So I'm really hoping that this physio can maybe get the Liverpool players even more fit. And you know that fitness is huge in Jurgen Klopp's tactical system, Jurgen Klopp's playing style. He's always a high intensity manager. So this is going to be very interesting. I think the most reliable transfer links have been to Naby Keita, Van Dijk, and even James Pearce mentioned Timo Werner, that he has caught the eye of Jurgen Klopp. He has been very impressive for Red Bull Leipzig, and we shall wait and see whether we will get a new striker. I think a lot depends on Sturridge staying or going, and still Jurgen Klopp didn't want to confirm or deny anything basically regarding Daniel Sturridge. He was asked after the Sydney game whether Sturridge is staying or going, and Jurgen Klopp said, I don't want to say anything because whatever I say it will be a headline, and that's probably true. So he basically, maybe he didn't decide yet. The thing is that Sturridge had to play that preseason friendly with painkillers or something like that, because he still has that hip problem which has blighted him for the most of the season, and he will miss England's friendly and England's qualifier. And I'm not sure, maybe Jurgen Klopp is just fed up with Sturridge getting injured all the time. He sees Sturridge every day in training, and I will be able to understand why Jurgen Klopp lets Sturridge go. And it's not because he lacks quality, but it's because he's on very high wages and he's very unreliable in terms of when he's fit and available for Klopp. Is it worth to keep a striker, even if that striker is as good as Sturridge, around on very high wages when he only can play like 15 to 20 games every season? That's the big question. We could bring in another striker, for example Timo Werner, or there are also links to Kasper Dolberg, even though he was very unimpressive for Ajax in the Europa League final. He was getting no service basically, so we shouldn't judge him on one game. And if Dolberg or Werner is signed instead of Sturridge, we could develop a striker in the next 2 or 3 years who could become as good as Sturridge in the long run. But I think we need a ready-made replacement for Sturridge. In my opinion, we should do everything in our powers to get Lacazette. I think it would be the difference. Or we either get Werner or Dolberg, sell Sturridge and get in Mohamed Salah, and then we could have Firmino up front with Mane and Salah on either side, and the backups could be Origi, Werner and Danny Ings. So let me know what you think about that, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. A brand new career mode video is coming later today, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, see you later, goodbye.